Just before sunrise, an armored truck stops outside a donut shop in Los Angeles. Two security guards head into an SUV to block the truck. Outlaws dressed in body armor and gas masks come out with shotguns and rifles. As the guards exit the shop, the truck driver alerts the LAPD about the robbery. The outlaws shoot one guard and the driver. They force open the truck's doors and take out another guard. The LAPD arrives, leading to a shootout where 4 cops and 1 outlaw die. The outlaws escape with the truck. In a warehouse, Ray scolds Bosco for killing a guard. They patch up the truck and discuss being cop killers. Detective Nick O'Brien arrives at the scene, realizing they're skilled thieves. They escaped with an empty truck due to a lack of air support. Meanwhile, Bosco spies on Nick's team and identifies him as the leader. Ray recognizes Nick, who runs the Major Crimes Division. Donnie, the getaway driver, sees Nick's photo and leaves. Nick investigates the LASD case. They suspect it was an inside job because the outlaws knew about an unscheduled transfer. The team suspects Ray, who was recently released on parole. Meanwhile, Donnie, a bartender, finds a Federal Reserve Bank employee's access card left at the bar. Donnie, a member of Ray's crew, downs a shot with Mac and others. Nick questions Donnie at the bar, then later confronts him outside, knocking him out. Danny wakes up in a motel room with Nick and others. Nick shows Danny a surveillance photo of him meeting with Ray. Detective Gus informs Donnie about Nick's criminal history and warns him about going back to jail. Nick shows Danny a tattoo indicating he's part of a rogue cop clique called the Regulators, who don't follow standard procedure. Nick interrogates Donnie, who admits to being the driver and not knowing much about the crew's operations. Nick returns home to his wife, who accuses him of cheating after finding incriminating texts. She leaves with her daughters. The crew surveils the Federal Reserve Branch. Ray plans to rob it, knowing its extreme security measures. They realize that Ray, Anson, Bosco, and Donnie were all Marines. Reviewing past heists, they deduce that there were no sophisticated ones during Ray's prison time. Nick suggests catching Ray to solve multiple unsolved cases. During a lunch break, Nick gets served with divorce papers. Ray briefs the crew on robbing the bank, focusing on accessing the unfit bills before they're shredded, potentially getting away with millions. They've got $30 million and nobody's looking for Donnie. He gets a job at a Chinese takeaway place that serves the Fed employees. Donnie delivers food to the Fed and hides a bag in the ventilation shaft. Later, Ray and his crew dine at a restaurant where Nick tries to provoke them. He insults Ray's football team and flirts with the women. Gus apologizes and pulls Nick away. At the warehouse, Ray questions Donnie about being a cop. Donnie denies it, but Ray threatens him. Donnie confesses that Nick knows about the crew but hasn't said anything. Ray orders Danny to inform Nick about the heist on Friday. Danny meets Nick at a store and warns him about almost blowing his cover. He tells Nick about the heist, but doesn't know the location. Nick goes to the shooting range where Ray is unimpressed with his skills. Nick visits a club where Ray's girlfriend works. They end up at her apartment and Nick confronts Ree the next morning. They have a tense standoff, but Ray doesn't take the bait. Instead, Ray walks past Nick into the bedroom and closes the door. Nick gets into his car, calls a friend, and reveals Ray's next heist location. Meanwhile, in the bathroom, Ray's girlfriend tells him she did as he instructed. The day of the heist arrives and the regulators surveil the bank. Ray and his crew arrive, armed and masked, and storm the bank. They take hostages, confiscate phones, and demand $10 million and helicopter within an hour. As negotiations begin, LAPD and FBI swarm the scene. Inside, the bank manager opens the vault and a phone call confirms the hostage's death. Bosco takes another hostage to the back and a shot is fired. Negotiations continue with the manager pleading for time. Outside, law enforcement assumes Ray's crew will open the safe. Nick notices a cemented sewer line and decides to investigate. He opens the bank's front door, checks on the hostages, and heads to the back, where he finds the supposedly shot hostage unharmed. Meanwhile, Ray and his crew escape through the sewer. The regulators enter the bank, finding a hole leading to the sewer. Nick is already down there, following them. Matt calls the Fed, posing as Alameda Security Company. He schedules a drop-off from Pico Rivera Savings for 2:45, just 2 minutes away. Ray and Ensign, disguised as Alameda armed guards, drive the stolen armored truck, now made to look like an Alameda truck. They show their IDs to the Federal Reserve officer at the security gate, who lets them in. At the Fed, they park the truck and roll 2 money tubs into the receiving area. The money counters then move the tubs to the counting room for $100 bills. Ray and Ensign wait in the waiting room, while Bosco lurks in the utility tunnel below. Bosco, upon receiving confirmation from Ray, causes a brownout in the Fed, shutting down the shredders and surveillance in the counting room. A police guard tells the counters to take a break due to the outage. When they leave, Ray signals Danny that it's clear. Donnie, hidden in a money tub, emerges and stacks the bills back into the tub. Meanwhile, Mac intercepts a call from a Fed employee ordering Chinese takeout. She complains about her order being late, and Mac, putting on a Chinese accent, assures her it's on its way. A police security guard notices the camera and motion sensors are out in the counting room. He overrides the system and instructs them to continue counting. Donnie, hiding in the counting room, hastily gathers unfit $100 bills into bags and throws them down a trash chute, triggering the reactivated sensors. The guard returns with 2 counters, prompting Ray to radio Donnie to leave. Donnie escapes through a ventilation shaft. Danny informs Ray that Donnie is in the vents, and Ray signals Bosco to restore power. Donnie emerges from the shaft in the bathroom, retrieves a forgotten takeout bag, and uses the Fed employee's access card to move around. He delivers the old takeout to the disgruntled ladies and exits the building. Meanwhile, Alexi and Boss, on refuse removal duty, cross paths at an intersection without stopping. The counters confirm the Alameda count is accurate, and they return empty tubs for Ray and Ensign, who then leave. In the Fed basement, Alexi collects garbage with his truck. Ray and Ensign drive away from the Fed in the armored truck. Bosco tails a refuse removal truck and updates Ray on its location. Ray intercepts the refuse truck, blocking it in front, while Bosco blocks it from behind. Bosco approaches the driver, brandishing a gun, and orders them out. He drives off in the truck, followed by the rest of the crew, heading to the dump site. Meanwhile, Nick searches for Ray's crew and spots Donnie walking down the street. He pulls over, and Mac watches as Gus and Tony Z force Donnie into Nick's truck. Nick and his team interrogate Donnie, demanding Ray's location until Danny gives it up. At the dump site, Reed receives a call from Mac, who informs him that Danny's cover is blown. Max insists he's still clean and asks Ray where to go, but Ray doesn't respond and hangs up. He informs Ensign that Danny and Mac are compromised, and they drive away in the Suburban. Nick spots Ray and follows his Suburban onto a congested freeway. He radios detectives Murph and Baracho about the location. Ray notices Nick's truck about 20 cars behind in traffic. Gus handcuffs Donnie inside Nick's truck while they wait. Murph and Baracho arrive, and Ray, Ensign, and Bosco exit the Suburban. The regulators close in, and Ray opens fire, killing Baracho. A chaotic shootout erupts as both sides exchange gunfire, bullets tearing through cars and fill in the air. Bosco takes a fatal bullet to the neck and reshoots Tony E and then me, incapacitating him. Ray and Ensign flee into a street with Nick in pursuit. Gus fatally shoots Ensign while Ray wounds Murph in the arm. Ray runs into an alley and Nick follows closely. Nick manages to shoot Ray, seriously injuring him. Ray struggles to reload but manages to stand up and walk toward Nick, shooting. Nick retaliates, shooting Ray in the chest, causing him to search for more ammo. Realizing he's out, Ray points his empty gun at Nick, who shoots him in self-defense. Nick returns to his car, finding Danny has escaped. Opening the black bags in the Suburban, they find shredded bills. Nick goes to Donnie's former workplace, learning he quit recently. He notices Donnie, Mac, Boss, and Alexi in a football team photo, realizing Donnie was the mastermind. Meanwhile, Danny Barton's in London, sporting a British accent. Mac, Boss, and Alexia laugh at the bar. Flashbacks show Donnie approaching Ray about the heist and Danny concealing money in tires and shipping it to Panama. The movie concludes. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this.